Back in November at the EICMA motorcycle show, Yamaha showcased a prototype Ténéré 700 that wowed the adventure biking world. Named the Raid, it was designed as a dune-conquering desert rally bike, and to hammer home that point, the promo video showed two professional riders thrashing it through the sand. Now the question on everyone's lips was, is this bike going to be available to the general public? And if yes, when? Well, an answer to those two questions is starting to emerge. I'm Ollie from Adventure Bike Rider, and I'm happy to bring you the news that it looks like a production spec Yamaha Ténéré 700 Raid is on the way. Patent images have shown that Yamaha is lining up a new variant of the Ténéré 700, and it looks pretty similar to the bike that we saw in those promo videos a few months ago. However, there's a slight difference with the production model. Rather than the specced-up prototype that we saw in those videos, it looks like Yamaha has committed to making the new Raid a long-distance, continent-busting machine. Think BMW's F850 GS Adventure. Those patent images show that the dual fuel tanks on the prototype have remained. However, while on that prototype bike they were fixed at the front and rear, on the production model both have been moved up front, with the Ténéré's tank looking considerably beefier than it had before. Each has its own filler cap, and it looks like those tanks extend pretty far down the sides of the bike to ensure there's as much fuel capacity as possible. We're hoping for about 25 litres to give around 300 miles of range. Now we think this is a pretty good move from Yamaha because the Ténéré 700 does slightly get let down compared to the competition when it comes to that 16 litre fuel tank and mile-munching capability, so hopefully the Raid will be able to improve on that. Elsewhere on the bike, it looks like the Raid is going to be as off-road ready as the current model is, with it coming with some fairly substantial crash protection. Those new fuel tanks are guarded by sturdy looking fairing protectors, and there's a mammoth bash plate at the bottom ready to help you bounce over logs. This screams off-road focus to us, as does the extended rally style seat and the fact that the mock-up images show foot pegs without any rubber inserts in. Finally, there's also the suggestion that the Ténéré's LCD screen is going to be replaced. And we're keeping our fingers crossed for a new TFT to replace that slightly Game Boy S unit that you'll find up front at the moment. Aside from those changes, it looks like Yamaha is keeping the Raid as close to the production spec Yamaha Ténéré 700 as possible. And who can blame them? It's a supremely capable adventure bike and has proved very, very popular. Instead, what Yamaha has done is focus on a couple of areas that it might have felt that the current model was slightly lacking and look to improve them, which should only make for an even better adventure bike. Now there's no word yet on when they'll appear in showrooms or how much they're going to set you back, but once we find out, you'll be the first to know if you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, so hit that button down below. Now we want to hear from you about the Yamaha Ténéré Raid. Is it the bike that's going to convince you to part of your hard-earned cash? Or do you think Yamaha could have done a little bit more with it? Let us know in the comments below. And once again, don't forget to check out our other videos for reviews and podcasts about the adventure biking world, and hit subscribe so that you can stay up to date as and when we release a video. For now, safe riding.